All right, welcome to Joy News Interactive. And there are two stories that you have been commenting about. It's one of them has to do with the assaults of persons who had defied or were said to have defied the funeral dress code or the dress code for the funeral of the Queen Mother of the Sunyani traditional area. And the other story has to do with the directive by the Speaker that sanctions could be meted out to journalists who fail to cover proceedings or abandon proceedings in the chamber to cover other matters on the precincts of Parliament. We'll start with that, and the story led the bulletin this evening. So Jack Apata says the job of the journalist to follow events of general interest to the public and report on them. If the Speaker cannot sanction MPs addressing the press on the side due during a parliamentary session, he should not bully the journalist doing his job. Felix says the Spirit of God has left the majority side of Parliament and now on the minority side, just as it has also left President Akufo-Addo and now on John Dramani Mahama. The majority will now take a spear and would want to pin the minority to the wall, just as Saul sought to do to David. But nothing will work for them henceforth. The Speaker should have known this long ago. Okay, so Felix decides to go biblical. Evans says a responsible media person is always on the lookout for action sports where the news is worth reporting. And in the democracy, I don't think the Speaker has the right to determine what should be reported by the media. They didn't leave the premises of Parliament. And goes on, this dictatorial attitude must stop somewhere. It started from the executive using the law to shut down media houses that suspect to be reporting matters or issues that are not in government favor. Let's move on. Nash says, right, well and fully supported, Mr. Speaker. This attitude of the media must be stopped. They must really be cautioned sternly and regulated on what they do with issues of the nation. I say, Nash. Theophilus says, yes, I think the Speaker is totally right because most of the media are not feeding the citizens the needful information we want. Everything going on within the floor of the House is very important to the people, not outside. Why do you have to cover what is going on outside while what matters the country most, you ignore it? There should be a restriction. And Nanayao says, I'm listening to Evans and I'm utterly disappointed for the disregard of authority. Okay, you probably were referring to Newsnight. But I must say that following this story, the Parliamentary Service has issued a statement and they're saying, which they are saying that the Speaker never sought to gag the media as has been suggested. Now, let's move on to the other story, which has to do, we're going to Sunyani. Now, the story is that some people were assaulted. Some persons who were just going about their business in Sunyani were assaulted because they were not dressed in black clothes as directed by the Funeral Planning Committee for the Queen Mother of the Sunyani traditional area. Now, the videos have gone viral and we have you commenting on them. Coranting Alex says, no one can honor the dead. It's very nonsense and stupid to hear people saying we're showing last respect for the dead. What is the relationship between the dead and the living? Master, please work out for your own salvation and honor people when they are alive. Frank says, this is abuse of fundamental human rights of the citizenry. It's outmoded and uncultured. Michael Intree says, this is human rights abuse. Who cares about the Queen Mother, that Queen Mother, and why must people be assaulted because of her? These barbaric traditions need to be banned. Strict laws must be made to prevent these traditional leaders from trampling on the people's rights. Ba Atta says, why do we use rights and other things to disrespect those in authority? Even the whites who brought that right thing into Ghana respect their queen. If you're not in Sunyani and don't know what is going on there, you better shut up. They used about 3 weeks or a month to educate the people on this. No one is forcing someone to mourn with them, but there are some principal streets in Sunyani where their rites will be performed. So you don't have to come there or get closer to that scene when you are not in either red or black. Ask those who were in their houses whether they were beating. We don't get up to 50 years and die because we don't respect our political and most importantly our traditional rulers. These are traditions, and even Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad respected the traditions of the various backgrounds. Okay, so these are some of the comments that you you shared with us. And I must say, well, the Sunyani traditional area is not the only place that would tend to issue such a fiat. There are some other traditional areas that have issued these fiats. And in some places, they have been strictly observed. In other places, well, not so strictly observed. But I must also say that the Sunyani Traditional Council has come out to condemn the attacks on people. They're saying that some of the people who went about attacking people turned out to be imposters and that they are not really with the funeral planning committee. And the police apparently is looking into all of this. And that's how we end Joy News Interactive here on Joy News Prime on the Joy News.